This is the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 286 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, we're going to dive into how to write a promotional email. Over the past couple weeks, we've been talking about how to grow your email with an opt-in, the importance of it. We also talked about how to write a nurture email and what that should look like, the essential elements of it. Today, we're actually going to dive in deeper of how exactly to write this promotional email so that you can sell your products and services. Before we do that, I want to make sure that if you haven't already grabbed my email list guide, that you do so. This is a free guide that's going to walk you through how to really grow that list that can be so important and influential in your business. Now, I also want to remind you all that if you haven't taken advantage of my content marketing audit that I am doing for free, that you can still do so. The way in which you would do that is you just leave a rating and review on iTunes. Send me a screenshot at Jenny_Melrose, and I will do a content marketing audit of your social media accounts and website. It's that simple. Nothing more to it. All right, you guys. So let's really talk about how we can write a promotional email. Now, the first piece that we need to talk about are the elements of a promotional email, what that exactly is going to consist of. We did something similar again last week when we talked about that nurture email. This is going to be some of those, but a little bit more important because now we're trying to sell something. So the purpose of a promotional email is to make sure that you are selling a product or service. So it's not trying to give that value anymore like you were doing in a nurture email. So that's why those nurture emails are so important. You are going to have people that potentially will buy. You're also going to have those that will potentially unsubscribe because they don't want to be on your list if you're going to sell to them. And here's the thing, that's okay. We want those people to unsubscribe because it is an easy way for us to clean our list. We don't want to pay for people that are sitting on our list and are never going to buy. So those essential elements of a promotional email are going to consist of a subject line that is going to want to have people open. It's going to get them interested. The subject line can really make or break your open rate. So taking a look at potentially using the ability to A/B test depending upon your email marketing software that you use. And then also really thinking about a subject line that's going to let them have an idea that you're offering them something, as well as what that something potentially could be, in what niche, what topic, what area you talk about. The next thing that you're going to want to talk about is your pain points with the solution. A promotional email has to touch on that regardless of the type of promotional email that you're writing. It has to have those pain points, always thinking about how you are going to show them that you solve the problem that they have. And that is going to be a piece of these emails. You also need to create some form of sense of urgency, whether this is going to be an evergreen actual sale, or this is going to be a flash sale or a launch that is happening just for a short period of time. You have to figure out a way to have that sense of urgency. And that's usually done by offering a separate price, a bonus, only a limited time for a launch, or if it's an evergreen, maybe it's only a limited time at that price or with that bonus. So you got to figure out a way to be able to get that sense of urgency in there. You also want to have one call to action to a sales page. And we want to make sure that that sales page gives them the information that they need to have in order to make the decision of whether or not they're going to purchase or not. So making sure that you have that call to action that is going to get them over to the sales page. Now, there's also within promotional emails, there are types of promotional emails that you write. Normally, I always recommend to clients that if they're going to have a sales sequence that comes after a tripwire product, after an opt-in, you normally will offer a tripwire product for a lower price, less than $25. This is going to be now this promotional sales sequence that's going to come. And inside of those, your first email is normally going to be the story or the journey that they have been on and how you are going to help them see that you can solve the problems that they are running into for them, whether you have done it for yourself or you've done it for a client. Whatever it might be, that is what you're going to be doing with this story or journey email. The second type of email you're going to write is a testimonial email. That is going to, again, hit on the pain points that you are going to solve and then have a testimonial written by a student or a former client that shows that you solved that problem for them. Your third type of email is going to be a question and answer email. Again, the questions that you are going to show that you are asking and then answering are going to show the pain points, the things that they are going to struggle with, the things that they are going to question about why they should purchase. You want to make sure that your question and your answer shows them that your product or service is going to solve that for them. And then that last email, fourth email that you would potentially be promoting in a sales sequence is going to be your last chance email. And this is the email that's really going to quickly hit on those pain points with like a bulleted list of these are the things that are going to get solved for you. And then it's going to remind them that this is their last chance to get it with this bonus or their last chance to get it at this price. So it's really important that you create that sense of urgency. Now, normally when I am recommending to clients that they put together this promotional email sequence, it's either going to be done evergreen, which like I said before, would come after your tripwire product that you had offered after your opt-in. And then you also can use these same 4 types of emails if you wanted to do a flash sale or a launch sequence. That is via email. You would use these same 4 types. Now, if you're kind of listening and struggling with this idea of how can we connect it to the opt-in, to the tripwire, and really want to know the technical details of how this all kind of flows together, I'd highly recommend that you get into Mastering Your Influence. This past month, in the month of May, we covered in detail how to make sure that your opt-in is converting, how to create that tripwire and sales page, and then to really understand how to make the tech side of these emails to come right behind that tripwire so that it naturally functions and makes it simpler, very simple and easy for sales to happen while you sleep for an evergreen funnel, and then to happen when you are having a launch or pushing out a new product for a flash sale. So I appreciate you all so much for listening in. You definitely want to make sure that you join in on Mastering Your Influence. Again, I'm offering $20 off for that, and that is linked in the show notes. You can also always send me a DM on Instagram at Jenny_Melrose, and I can send you the link to that, just asking about Mastering Your Influence. And then be sure, if you haven't already, take advantage of that content marketing audit. The audit is going to really walk you through making sure that you have the pieces that are connecting. The value that you are putting out there is then connected to the potential of a sale. All right, you guys, I appreciate you all so much for listening in. Until next time, I will see you all then.